Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be making a creamy chicken tortellini casserole, bake, whatever you want to call it. It is going to have, I'm going to be using some chicken thighs, some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to use some Asiago cheese, some garlic, some spinach, a little bit of half and half, some butter, and some tortellini, of course. You're gonna like this recipe. It's so simple, it's easy, and it's gonna be delicious. What I've got going on the back of the stove there, I've got some water coming up to a boil because I'm gonna go ahead and get my tortellini started. I'm gonna show you what I got going on down here in this bowl. I've got, this is 8 just chicken thighs. These are boneless chicken thighs, and they are skinless chicken thighs. You could use just the regular bone-in skin chicken if you want, but I find when you're making chicken thighs, because the fat on the chicken, the skin on the chicken is so, it just renders so much chicken fat that I don't like it personally. And I learned that in one of my recipes for one of my chicken noodle soups, my chicken soup recipes. It just, so much of the chicken fat comes out of that, and I don't like it. I don't like it in my dish. But what we're going to use is some Italian seasoning. We're going to go right on top of the chicken here with probably about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, somewhere around there. Just season it well. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt and some crushed black pepper. Now I'm going to give this a quick mix, and then we're going to head right over to the stove and get started. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We gotta have that preheated, you know. We're gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter to our little frying pan here. And I'm probably gonna have to do this in batches, because like I said, I've got 8 of those, the chicken thighs. So I'm probably gonna have to do 8 of them's not gonna fit in here. I can tell you that right now. And once the butter melts, we're just gonna go ahead and add them to our pan. Our butter is ready to go, so what we're going to do is go ahead and add these in. Like I said, we're just going to brown them on both sides, which is really going to take about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. About 3 minutes. 3 minutes to be exact. I'll show you quickly what I'm going to be using. This is the tortellini. It's the cheese tortellini, and this is found in your local grocery store freezer there, over by the other frozen foods. And these, just cook them according to your package directions, and these just take about 4 minutes to cook. So we're probably going to use about half of this bag. My water is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and add these in. Like I said, I'm going to use probably about half of this bag, because that's quite a bit. And I'm going to give that a stir, and then you're just going to cook these for, like I said, about 4 minutes. Alright, the chicken is nice and brown on both sides. Look at that. How pretty that is. I just like it. I like it when it gets nice and brown like that. Remove it from the pan here. I'm going to turn my tortellini off there. I'm going to add just about another teaspoon, half a teaspoon of butter in here, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw our, I turned that off for just a minute to let the pan cool down some, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on low, and then we're going to throw our spinach in there and let that kind of wilt down. This is only going to take about maybe 2 minutes for the spinach. And then just stir that around. You don't want your pan too hot, because you don't want to burn this. Make sure it's down on low. Like I said, give your pan time to cool down a little bit before you throw it in there. And if you decide that you want more spinach than that, or once it's wilted, I'm going to go ahead and get my tortellini off here because it's done as well. Then you could always just add more in there. See how much that cooks down. Look at that. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and start on the Asiago cream sauce. So I'm gonna add a couple teaspoons of butter back to the pan there. I rinsed it out because I wasn't sure if I was gonna use it or not, but I'm just gonna use the same pan. You don't have to rinse it out, so don't go that extra step. Go in and toss in your garlic. This is about 3 1/2, 4 cloves of garlic. These are really big cloves of garlic, so. If you have smaller cloves, you might want to use, you know, just a couple, maybe one extra. So I'm just going to let this go for about maybe 1 to 2 minutes. You want to be really careful that you don't let your garlic burn. All right, that is perfect. And I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of chicken stock into this. And that's just a little bouillon cube. I didn't have chicken stock, so you know, I always use bouillon cubes if I need to. Just going to kind of combine that together. And then we're going to add about another teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of the Italian seasoning. And a little more, a little bit more black pepper. Oh, it smells good. It smells so good. And then we're going to add about 1/2 cup of half and half. And then just mix it well. Look at that. That's so pretty. And then now we're going to grate in about 3/4 cup of Asiago cheese. Look at that. I got it all over the stove. Give it a stir. Actually, I put about 1 cup in there. Make sure this is on low. You want to make sure that you're not going to scorch that cheese in that half and half. So just kind of keep stirring it until all that cheese is nice and melted. And that Asiago cheese is nice. It's a soft cheese, so it's not going to take long to melt. And it's going to melt nice and smoothly. Now I'm going to give this a little sample just to see if I need to add any more cheese to it. You want it nice and cheesy, right? Oh my word, that's delicious. Oh my word. So simple, but absolutely delicious. I'm going to add just a little bit more cheese to it. Oh my goodness, that is so good. It's just going to complement that chicken and that tortellini so well. Okay, the only thing left to do is just assemble this. It smells so good in here. So good. And I'm just going to put these right down in my little casserole dish. Look how nice and brown that is. I hope I can fit all these in here. I kind of want to do a single layer, you know what I'm saying. And you can go ahead and add those juices right on top. That's goodness right there. That is goodness. And then toss in your tortellini. Oh, you know what? I probably should add a little bit of butter to that. As if there's not already enough butter to this dish, right? Just put it right on top. And you know, the good thing about this is the tortellini has cheese in it, so it's like bonus, right? And then your spinach. Just kind of dance that throughout. See, it really wouldn't have hurt if you use the whole bag, because there's not a lot of spinach in that when it sautés up. Just kind of move it around there to where you get some in every little bite. And then right over top with your garlicky deliciousness. Get every bit of that. Just kind of spread it around. Oh, it smells so good. And then I'm going to put this in the oven, like I said, 400 preheated degrees, preheated oven, 400 degrees for about 25-30 minutes, just until the chicken is nice and done all the way through. We may have to go over 30 minutes, but we will see. Look at that. In the oven it goes. Chicken tortellini with Asiago cheese, sauce, and spinach baked in the oven for about 35 minutes to be exact. And it smells absolutely amazing. Amazing. I cannot wait to dig in. It smells so good. The picture just doesn't do it justice. It just smells so good. Let me get me a little bite of it here. Or a big bite. Get on my plate. Get a little bit of the tortellini, the spinach. Look at that. Oh gosh. And I am so ready to dig in. You know it's gonna be nice and hot. Just the way we like it. Mmm. Man. That chicken is so tender. Oh my gosh. I have a bite of everything. Mmm. See, those little tortellinis are already stuffed with some cheese, so that just makes for extra goodness. Extra goodness. You know I love you guys. You know I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Take care.